Hey, good morning, everyone. Michael Fanning here, and this is Warm Up 356. And today I want to talk about it's an initiative you may have heard of that happens a lot in organizations, but my challenge to all of you is how many of you have this initiative happening in your own life? And it's called DEI. It stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And if you think about it, in each one of those categories, diversity, equity, and inclusion, there's a skill that's required in order to make that happen, to be aware of that, to open your mind to that concept. And that skill is called empathy. And, a lot of times we mistake empathy for sympathy. And empathy is really taking on the feelings of another and really truly understanding their perceptual map, their picture of the world, their mind, their frame of mind, right? And then being able to think about yours and how might you help that person? How might they help you? How might we have inclusion? How might we increase our equity? How we embrace diversity, And so think about that. So diversity, none of us are the same. We're all different. We all see the world differently. We all show up in the world differently. We all have different access to resources and to opportunities. Some have more, some have less, right? It's very diverse. So do we understand that? Are we open to that? And that requires you taking on the view of somebody else. We think about equity, right? Not everything is equal. And there's ways that we can help to make a change in that world. And then inclusion, how inclusive are you, right? And it's all based on, we all have a bias, whether we know it or not. We have a bias based on where we were born. We have a bias based on how we were raised. We have a bias based on our social circles. We have a bias based on our income. I mean, there's so many things that create these bias. And so if we don't have that critical skill of empathy, it's hard to take on the perspective of another. And here's the unfortunate part. Empathy is dropping. We have less empathy today. And so I'm going to challenge all of you. As a challenge to you, I would please do this. There's a podcast I want you to listen to by Hidden Brain called Empathy 2.0. I'm going to put a link to it in this warm-up. There's also an empathy test. Will you just take the test? Just see how you score in your world of empathy. I took the test. I got a 74 out of 110. I've got some work to do, right? And by the way, I'm going to tell you, we all have work to do. And so I would love for you to share. Let us know how your score was. Let us know what you found out. And let us know how you're doing on your path to better enhancing your DEI, right? It's important. It's important. It really helps. And here's what I'll tell you. We can't change other people, but we can change ourselves, and we can work on ourselves, and we can understand diversity, and we can understand equities, and how do we help other people get to that level, right? If we're in that position where we can help. And then also, how inclusive are you, right? How are you removing your biases and taking on the view from somebody's other point of view? All right, everybody, hey, please listen to the podcast, take the test, right? Be awesome and help somebody. Make it a great day. Talk to you later.